Good morning, honorable members. Apologies for the delay. We had to complete certain issues that were not completed yet. And I wanted to thank you for your understanding. For those members, ex-officials who were not here yesterday, you're most welcome. And I know the council chair is just in the next room, handling some urgent communications, but he will walk in shortly. So the council is represented. We can proceed.
Procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Makame.
Mr. Speaker, we are informed that this session is held physically and virtually. We are having a hybrid session, and we were just observing members who are participating here virtually, not having observed the rules of procedure. Because the rules of procedure require members who are participating in this meeting to raise when the speaker is entering the house. And that we observed was not in the order. Kindly guide the members, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed, that is the rule. And it's unfortunate or fortunate that the speaker didn't notice that. But that is the rule. And everybody should take note. Thank you very much. Otherwise, good morning, Honorable Poker. Okay, let us proceed.
Item 2, laying of papers. I will start with the Roman one.
Chairperson, excuse me, my notes are not properly done. Who is this chair that you didn't want to indicate? Correct. You know, in this session, I want everything to be properly captured. It makes my life easier. So when you call chairperson, which chair, which committee are we talking about? Yeah, but you should have indicated that, yes. Okay, Chair, Committee on General Purpose.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the ESC Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 1, 2021. I beg to read.
We proceed still on item 2, Roman 2.
Chairperson, Committee on General Purpose.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to a report of the Committee on General Purpose on the ESC Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2, 2021. I beg to read.
We proceed to Roman 3.
Chairperson, Committee on General Purpose.
Honorable Speaker and honorable members, on the third report, which is supposed to be the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the ESC budget estimates of revenue and expenditure for the financial year 2021-2022, that I would like to inform you that up to right now, when we are coming in for this plenary, we have not yet concluded our report. And it's because the time was limited and there are many issues that we wanted to harmonize as a committee. And secondly, already we have a member who has put us on notice that he intends to bring a minority report regarding this report. So one, we have not finished ours as a committee, but already we have a notice on the committee about a member intending to bring a minority report. So that, honorable, we shall beg your indulgence that after lunch you give us time to be able to go through and conclude our report. Thank you.
Yes, I think that should be understood. So you're asking for the afternoon time? It can be laid in the afternoon session?
Right, honorable, it is a considered opinion of the assembly, I mean of the committee, that it would be late. Our plan was late tomorrow. That was our plan. But now we have a challenge. We need your guidance. We have a challenge where there's a member who has put us on notice that he intends to bring the minority report.
Let me clear that one.
Yes, yes.
First, the last remark. The House will not wait for a member. A member will try to fit within the calendar of the House. So that one is cleared. Now we deal with the issue of how soon you will conclude the report, the main report. And I hope the member who wants to bring the supplementary budget is equally facilitated by the clerk, because that is how it should happen. But of course, this House cannot be kept on notice to wait for an unknown report by unknown member. So let the member be assisted to have the report, and the main report be also done. And that is where I wanted to have some clarity from you, how soon we should have both.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As a committee, today, in our deliberation, we said if we have after lunch of today, from 2:30 onwards, by tomorrow morning, we shall be ready to table our report to the Assembly.
Clerk, does that affect the next item? Okay, so now I can see the council chair is not in yet, unless the council member in the House is properly briefed to hold the brief. Then please call in the council member. I know he's in the next to the chair. Clerk, can you read the item again?
I will proceed to item 3 on the order paper. Consideration of the supplementary budget of the East African Community for the financial year 2020-2021 by way of motion.
Honorable Chair, Council of Ministers.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House resolve itself into a committee of Ways and Means to consider and approve the financial statement for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021, and B, Mr. Speaker, that the House resolves itself into a committee of supply to consider and approve the estimates of expenditure for the supplementary budget financial year 2020-2021.
Seconder, Honorable CTC, Honorable Kennedy Mukuria, you second by standing up, you not by raising a hand. Okay, thank you. Honorable Minister, do you need to make a justification? If you find it needless, then you can. You need to justify.
Thank you once again, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Council has, pursuant to Article 132(5) of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community, recommended resources that should be utilized to finance the activities of the community in the financial year ending 30th June 2021. It is a requirement, Mr. Speaker, of the law that the Assembly determines the same on the recommendations of the Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, now the motion before the House is that this House do resolve itself to the Committee of Ways and Means to consider and approve the financial statements for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021, and the Committee of Supply to consider and approve the estimates of expenditure for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021. I now call upon the committee chairperson, General Purpose, to present the report.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. In accordance with provisions of Article 49 and 132 of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community and Rules 78(1)(b) and Annex 5F, I beg to present to the House the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the ESC supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021 for consideration and adoption. Background. At its sitting held on 27th January 2021, the Assembly approved for the East African Community a total budget of United States dollars 97,669,708 for the financial year 2020-2021. And during the budgetary process, some key activities were left out due to the budgetary constraints. The East African Community has been able to mobilize resources to fill these gaps. The Council of Ministers is therefore requesting a supplementary budget amounting to United States dollars 1,989,919 to finance the activities under the ESC organs and institutions. And there's a table for the supplementary budget request for the financial year 2021. We have vote 001. We have the ESC Secretariat is requesting 241,450. Vote 004, Lake Victoria Basin Commission requesting for 679,512. All this is in US dollars. Vote 006, Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, 926,192. Vote 007, the East African Science and Technology, 29,850. The East African Health Research Commission, 112,915, coming to a total of United States dollars 1,989,919. Methodology. In considering the above requests, the committee held a meeting with the ESC Council of Ministers, Secretary General and officials from the ESC Secretariat from the relevant departments on the 28th June 2021 and analyzed the request for a supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021. The following documents were considered. 1. The bill and the financial statement for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021. Number 2. Written submissions from organs and institutions on the supplementary budget. Number 3. The internal memo from the Secretary General to the clerk on the supplementary appropriation bill and the ESC financial rules and regulations, the ESC Budget Act, and the report of the 41st meeting of the ESC Council of Ministers held on 4th August 2020. The committee finally prepared a report for consideration by the Assembly. Findings and observations. The committee was informed that the concerned organs and institutions will use the supplementary budget, will be used to implement the programs and activities indicated below. 1. ESC Secretariat, to strengthen the capacity of the ESC Technical Working Group to facilitate effective adoption and implementation of the harmonized pesticide regulatory system, which is United States dollars 120,000. On the 11th of March 2020, the ESC Secretariat and the Alliance for Green Revolution signed a grant to support domestication and implementation of pesticide registration system across the East African community. One of the interventions prioritized is the diagnosis of performance gaps that affect partner states' pesticide regulatory environment. A consultant will be procured to conduct a diagnostic assessment which will identify a series of country-specific interventions that will be executed to improve the current situation. The ESC Agua grant was signed after the ESC budget for the financial year 2020-2021 had been approved by the Council of Ministers. The Secretary therefore requested for United States dollars 120,000 to implement the above activity. B. Support towards the promotion of rice sector in the ESC region. This is being supported by Kilimo Trust of United States dollars 205,060. The ESC Secretary secured funds of United States dollars 322,600 from Agua USAID project through Kilimo Trust to support the promotion of rice sector in the ESC region. The program kicked off earlier last year and some of the interventions are ongoing. However, the ESC Agua USAID grant was signed after the ESC budget for the financial year 2020-2021 had been approved. The activities to be executed under this project include commissioning of policy research and analysis on current issues affecting rice trade in ESC, translation into local languages of the ESC rules of origin and dissemination among the rice value chain actors, development of the ESC rice development strategy, and procurement of rice certification technologies to be deployed at 5 strategic border points. The ESC Secretary therefore requested for United States dollars 205,060 to implement activities under this project. 2. Lake Victoria Basin Commission, LVBC. Out of United States dollars 1,350,000 that was allocated for the construction of LVBC headquarters in financial year 2019-2020, only United States dollars 24,943 had been expended. This was occasioned by the process of tendering and the COVID-19 pandemic environment. The unused funds for the financial year 2019-2020 is standing at United States dollars 1,325,057 and was not appropriated during the financial year 2020-2021. Lake Victoria Basin Commission therefore presents a supplementary budget of United States dollars 679,512 to be drawn from the General Reserve for the construction of the Lake Victoria Basin Commission headquarters. 3. The East African Science and Technology Commission, ESTECO, in collaboration with a consortium of partners, including the African Technology Policy Studies Network, Nairobi, Seinovate Center, Nairobi, Stockholm Environment Institute, Africa Center, and the Bioinnovations Company Limited, Uganda. ESTECO is developing the East African strategy for the bioeconomy being funded by Bioinnovate Africa. The overall objective of the strategy is contribute to the development of bio-based economies for improved productivity of smallholder farmers and communities in Eastern Africa. The implementation time frame of the project is 3 years, with a total budget estimated at United States dollars 199,906. The total amount of funds utilized for the last 2 years is United States dollars 170,056, leaving a balance of United States dollars 29,850, unutilized due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the last quarter of the financial year 2019-2020. Therefore, the institution presented a supplementary budget of United States dollars 29,850 to implement the remaining activities in the financial year 2020-2021. East African Health Research Commission study prevalence of SARS-CoV-2 in patients with acute respiratory infection in ESC region between 1st November 2019 and 29th February 2020. The joint meeting of ministers responsible for health and ministers responsible for ESC affairs held on 25th March 2020 to address the ongoing COVID-19 threat to the region directed the East African Health Research Commission to synthesize and conduct research on the COVID-19 to inform the partner states on new technologies, advances in care and treatment, vaccines, the behavior of virus, diagnostic among others, to inform policy and practice in the region. The East African Health Research Commission, in collaboration with GIZ, shall implement and conduct a study in 5 EAC partner states as a two-step molecular and seroepidemiological cross-section study. In the first phase, archived swab samples of patients who presented with SARI-like symptoms between 1st November 2019 and 29th February 2020 will be retested with PCR for the prevalence of the SARS-CoV-2. In the second phase, patients whose swab samples were tested positive will be contacted and after informed consent, visited. And they and their family members will be asked to donate blood for COVID-19 antibody testing. Number 5, Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization. Implementation of the True Fish project funded by European Union. True Fish of United States dollars 185,457. The European Union signed a financing agreement with the East African community to implement the True Fish program. The main objective of the project is contribute to the development of competitive, gender equitable and sustainable commercial aquaculture to support economic development and sustainable management of natural resources in the Lake Victoria Basin. Unfortunately, by the time the agreement was signed on 19th November, the EAC budgeting process for the financial year 2020-2021 had been completed. Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, therefore, presents a supplementary budget of United States dollars 187,457 to implement a part of the project's first year activities in the financial year 2021-2022. B, implementation of the Ecofish project funded by European Union. Ecofish of United States dollars 537,725. The Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization Secretariat secured funding to the tune of 2 million euros under the Ecofish program, contribution of the sustainable fisheries to the blue economy of Eastern Africa, Southern Africa, and the Indian Ocean region. The program is aimed at enhancing equitable economic growth by promoting sustainable fisheries in the EASAIO region. The financing agreement for the Ecofish program was signed in September 2018. This program will support review of policies and legal framework, census of fishing input through a frame survey, enforcement, licensing, protection of breeding and nursery areas, sensitization of stakeholders in the partner states, and support the Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization Secretariat. The program estimate for the period 2020-2025 was signed by Indian Ocean Commission and endorsed by the European Union delegation. Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization Secretariat received 602,181 euros on the 26th of June 2020 for the implementation of the first year activities. However, by the time the endorsement was completed, the EAC budgeting process for the financial year 2020-2021 was already complete. Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, therefore, presents a supplementary budget worth United States dollars 537,725 to implement first year activities of the project in the financial year 2021-2022. C, implementation of GIZ funded activities for responsible fisheries business chains, RFBC project, amounting to United States dollars 184,450. The Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization is the main implementing partner of the GIZ funded responsible fisheries business chains, RFBC project. Several activities under this project have been scheduled for quarters 3 and 4 of the financial year 2019-2020 budget, but were not implemented due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization has drawn a new strategy to implement the activities nationally rather than regionally through the principle of subsidiarity. In addition, some new activities have been agreed upon with the development of partners to address the effects of the pandemic on fisheries. Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, therefore, presents a supplementary budget to a tune of 155,076 euros to implement the activities that are not completed in the financial year 2019-2020. D, implementation of the SISTO project, Schistomiasis, shallow water fisheries, and human resilience around Lake Victoria, funded by St. Andrews University, to a tune of United States dollars 18,470. The Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, in collaboration with St. Andrews University of Scotland, UK, is implementing a project titled Schistosomiasis, Shallow Water Fisheries and Human Resilience around Lake Victoria, towards a multidisciplinary solution for interlinked human health and food security challenges. The main objective of the project is to integrate fish and fishing and human health in the context of assessing the abundance of fish stock and snails, as well as the prevalence of schistosomiasis in adjacent fishing communities. The project agreement was initially signed on the 23rd May 2019, but there was an addendum to the agreement signed on 21st February 2020, which culminated in the revision of the project activities in the financial year 2020-21 budget. The Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization, therefore, requests for a supplementary budget of United States dollars 18,470 to implement revised project's activities in the financial year 2020-2021. The committee noted that the supplementary budget request of United States dollars 1,989,919 is within the threshold of 5% that is provided for in the ESC Budget Act. Recommendations. The Assembly adopts the committee report and approves the ESC Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 1, 2021, which provides for a supplementary budget for various organs and institutions amounting to United States dollars 1,989,919. Mr. Speaker, I beg to report.
Some of the words in the report would have required the presence of Honorable Mbidena. Okay, proceed. I think you needed to stay around, Honorable Namala. Okay, Honorable Chair, Committee on General Purpose, proceed and present a report, a committee report on the EAC Supplementary Appropriations number 2, Bill 2021.
Right, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Articles 49 and 132 of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community and Rules 78(1)B and Annex 5F, I beg to present to the House the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the EAC Supplementary Budget for the financial year 2020-2021 for consideration and adoption. Background. At its sitting held on 27 January 2021, the Assembly approved for the East African Community a total budget of United States dollars 97,669,708 for the financial year 2020-2021. The Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2, 2021, amounting to United States dollars 252,980 for the East African Legislative Assembly, is to cater for the expenses incurred towards the activities undertaken from 10th August to 10th October 2020, 10th December 2020, and 27th January 2021. The Council of Ministers is therefore requesting a supplementary budget amounting to United States dollars 252,980 for the East African Legislative Assembly. Methodology. During the consideration of the bill, the committee held a meeting with the ESC Council of Ministers,
recording in progress,
and Clerk of Eala on 28th June 2021 and analyzed the request for supplementary budget for the Assembly for the financial year 2020-2021. The committee considered and scrutinized the following: 1, the bill and the financial statement for the supplementary budget; 2, the relevant provisions of the ESC financial rules and regulations, the ESC Budget Act, Eala Rules of Procedure, Eala Powers and Privileges Act, and the reports of the 42nd meetings of ESC Council of Ministers held on 7th May 2021. The committee finally prepared a report for consideration by the Assembly. Findings and observations. The committee noted that the Assembly submitted a request for a supplementary budget amounting to United States dollars 1,020,730 to cater for the members' daily subsistence allowance and sitting allowances during the consideration of the vote on account and the ESC budget estimates for the financial year 2020-2021. The above expenses were as a result of the failure by the Council of Ministers to present the ESC budget to the Assembly for consideration and approval before 30th June 2020. Suffice to note that the Chairperson Council of Ministers presented the ESC budget for financial year 2020-2021 in August 2020. As a result, the committee proceeded to consider the request for the vote on account and the budget. The Assembly was also compelled to convene special sittings to consider and approve the vote on account and the budget estimates. The expenses arising out of the consideration of vote on account and the budget were not provided for in the ESC budget for the financial year 2020-2021. At its 42nd extraordinary meeting of Council held on 7th May 2021, the Council of Ministers considered the supplementary budget request from the Assembly. However, the Council only approved the sitting allowances to a tune of United States dollars 252,980 and recorded its decision of not paying members daily subsistence allowance for meetings activities undertaken virtually. The committee established that during the Council meeting that took the decision not to pay members their DSA for virtual meetings, it was the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republics of Arusha and South Sudan that strongly supported this position, where the other three partner states supported the idea of paying members the DSA, since it is an entitlement while on official duty. During the interaction with the committee, the Chairperson of the Council of Ministers informed members that an extraordinary council meeting had been convened to take place on 5th July 2021 to resolve this matter. He expressed optimism that the matter would be resolved in favor of the Assembly and members would be paid these outstanding allowances. Recommendations. The committee recommends that the 43rd Extraordinary Council meeting, scheduled for Monday, 5th July 2021, upholds the promise and commitment to vacate its earlier decision of not paying members outstanding daily subsistence and allowances. 2. The Assembly adopts the committee report and approves the ESC Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2, 2021, which provides for supplementary budget of Eala amounting to United States dollars 252,980. Mr. Speaker, sir, I don't submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable members, I now propose the question that this House do resolve itself to the Committee of Ways and Means to consider and approve the financial statements for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021, and the Committee of Supply to consider and approve the estimates of expenditure for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021. Debate is open. I said the debate was open, and if there is no member wanting to contribute, we can proceed. In this situation, then, there is no need to call the council to reply, because there is no issues for the council to reply, council chair. But council chair, any comment you want to make? Okay. Honorable members, I now put the question that this House do resolve itself. Sorry? Yes, Honorable Member Minister Ezekiel, please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want first of all to greet all of you, honorable members of parliament. Yesterday I was not able to attend to this session, but I am happy that today I am here. I wish to react on this EAC Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2. I see on the issue of observations, item number 5, they have written that the committee established that during the council meeting that took the decision not to pay members their DSA for virtual meetings, it was the United Republic of Tanzania and the republics of Burundi. It is the Republic of Burundi, and South Sudan that strongly supported this position, while other 3 partner states supported the idea of paying members their DSA. Right Honorable, I wish to recall that during this council meeting, we gave room to further consultations. And having given room to these further consultations, I believe countries have done that. And I remember myself during the dinner that was hosted by the SG at Mount Meru Hotel, myself, I stood up as a council member representing Burundi, and I said that Burundi has no problem about this. Right Honorable, I reiterate the position I gave during this dinner that was hosted, and reiterate that Burundi has no problem today with that. As long as you have promised that from now henceforth we are going to follow the rule, Burundi is for paying the DSA to honorable members of parliament. Thank you, Right Honorable Chair.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Makame.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On the same point as the Right Honorable Member of the Council has spoken, on page 3 of the report submitted by the Chair of General Purpose Committee on EAC Supplementary Bill Appropriation number 2, item number 5. It reads, the committee established that during the council meeting that took the decision not to pay members their DSA for virtual meetings, it was the United Republic of Tanzania and the republics of Burundi and South Sudan that strongly supported this position, while 3 other member states supported the idea of paying members their DSA since it is an entitlement while on official duty. Mr. Speaker, during the ongoing plenary, the United Republic of Tanzania, the minister of who is responsible for EAC affairs, submitted a letter directed to the chairperson of the council and copied to the Secretary General. And that letter was duly received, and that should have been reflected that the United Republic of Tanzania, because this report is tabled here today, then it would have been, it would be more just and fair to the Minister of the United Republic of Tanzania, who first of all came during this meeting to state her position and further went through, of course, you had the consultations with her, Mr. Speaker, and also the SG. We thank you very much for that, for that engagement. But the Honorable Minister did what she had to do, and it is just fair that is reflected in this report, and that, Mr. Speaker, allow me just to indulge further in this one. We had a discussion with the Right Honorable Minister, the chairperson of the council, who insinuated that we should be having goodwill. On part of Eala, we have a goodwill, and we'd also like the council to show goodwill, and that now the United Republic of Tanzania, the Republic of Burundi has already stated their positions, and we are quite sure the point of the Republic of South Sudan is soon coming. Then this matter should be cleared, and we call it a bygone, and we move forward. That's the way, and that's the spirit. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit. Thank you.
Okay.
Procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Who is saying procedure?
Procedure, Mr. Amari.
Honorable Musamari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I think from what the Honorable Makame has alluded to, and the council member from the Republic of Tanzania is not here, it will be procedurally proper for that letter to be laid on table for the purpose of the record. So, because it is not proper for this August House to rely on hearsay, to be very dangerous. So, Mr. Speaker, I request to move.
Okay, honorable members, let me help on the guide on this. I think the point you are raising is about the completeness of the records. Indeed, I confirm also, because I am privy to the information that the United Republic of Tanzania has communicated. So I hope when the council responds and confirms that, then the record will be complete. It doesn't have to be in the report of the committee, because the communication was not to the committee. It was to the Secretary General. Yes. So when the Secretary General confirms that, when the Secretary General confirms the receipt and the content of the letter, then the record will be complete. Isn't it clear? Yeah. And secondly, I hope when time comes for the council to respond, also address yourself to the issue of the Republic of South Sudan, so that we know what the status is. And as we proceed, honorable members, I know we are not constrained by time, but in the interest of good progress, issues that we seem to have cleared, we don't have to spend a lot of time on that. Yes. So as a strategic approach and in the interest of time. But I know Honorable Susan wants to talk, and Honorable Thomas. Okay, you are given a way to start. Please, issues that we seem to have resolved, you don't need to dwell on them much.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mine is just an information. I'm actually in touch with the Office of the Minister in Juba, and shortly he's actually sending the letter of no objection to the SG and the chair of the council. Thank you.
Yes. If you can switch off your microphone, please, Honorable Thomas. Please switch off your microphone. Can you hear me? I think they're not working. The microphone's working. You can hear me through the microphone. Okay, Honorable Susan.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I'd like to thank the Committee of General Purpose for the job well done. In a special way, allow me to thank the Honorable Minister from the Republic of Burundi, Honorable Zeka. He should have been appointed much earlier before things got out of the way. I'm certain if you were in council at the time when they had to make these decisions, the outcome would have been much different. I wish all the council members would be like you. And also to thank the chair council, Honorable Ken Obuya, I guess they are twin brothers. No wonder East Africa should have the political federation it deserves. Honorable Speaker, having read from the report of the Committee of General Purpose, on the observation number 1, the committee noted that the Assembly submitted a request for a supplementary budget of $1,020,730 to cater for members' subsistence, daily subsistence allowance and sitting allowances. I'm just wondering why this budget has to come in piecemeal. Why we have to first have the 252,980 and not the entire figure as observed by the committee. Because it leaves me wondering what happens to the 767,750. Why can't this figure come as a whole to cater for that session of the vote on account and the budget session? Because I realize that when we bring it in piecemeal, little by little, we lose track along the way. Now that council has the goodwill, why can't we bring this figure as a whole? Council probably can advise accordingly. Maybe it would call for a fresh supplementary budget, or we just improve this figure right now. I know council has powers to do these things. Honorable Ken, you have the magic of doing this, together with Secretary General, all of you are around. Now, what are we waiting for? We can just do this thing and finish it over with. SG, I trust your capacity. Because if you can just bring DRC on board within no time, ordinarily it would have taken like 3 years to pull this off. You pulled it. You're already doing it. Why can't you do this? Other than us singing this one song endlessly, we can afford to clear this so that we are all happy. You know we are the best allies of council. The Assembly is your best allies. When you're not here, we are helping you with the job. We do the oversight very well. You know your things are complicated, you sit twice a year, but we are here to help the Secretary General. So I would like you to reconsider this and avoid these little things. Thank you so much. Submit.
Thank you, Honorable Susan. Now, based on my advice that I had given, Honorable Mary.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to start by appreciating what we have had this morning. I want to thank the council members, the Secretary General who has brought a different environment in Arusha at the ESC. Sir, we thank you. It is always good to work in harmony and to avoid issues and incidents that are likely to disconnect us. And I pray that we continue to behave. And this, it takes all the sides to tango. We all have roles to play to ensure that there is harmony within the ESC and that we are able to move as a community and work for the people that we are supposed to be working for. Mr. Speaker, sir, the purpose of my raising up is mainly to amend number 5. I'm requesting the General Purpose Committee look on page 3, number 5, where the committee report reads, the committee established that during the council meeting that took the decision not to pay members their DSA for virtual meetings, it was the United Republic of Tanzania, the republics of Burundi and South Sudan that strongly supported that. Mr. Speaker, the reason why I am seeking an amendment is that the situation is now different. I would like to see number 5 reflect the status quo as it is. So we either remove that because we no longer need number 5, or we amend it to reflect the record of then, but also state that now the republics of Tanzania, Burundi, and South Sudan are not objecting. I beg to move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The committee chair will address himself on that. Okay, honorable members. Honorable Council Chair. Yes, we need to consult the CTC briefly.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Allow me to say the following, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Committee of General Purpose for the good work they've done and for the report that they've just given. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to report here that indeed yesterday in the afternoon before the afternoon sitting, I had a very, very interactive and consultative meeting with the Committee of the General Purpose. And I did promise, Honorable Speaker, that I do understand the welfare of the members of this August House. I further confirmed and promised, and in fact committed, that all their welfare issues will be sorted in not so much time. And I can assure you that that promise is already bearing a lot of fruits. And you can see, Honorable Speaker, that my colleague here, Honorable Ezekiel, with whom together we attended the last council meeting, in which it was 3 versus 3 on this issue of the welfare of members. You can see that the Honorable Minister, who promised to consult and get back to the council, has already had his consultations and things are moving in the right directions. You can also see, Honorable Speaker, that before Honorable Ezekiel reported on the new development, the URT already reported their case. I want to also confirm, Honorable Speaker, that while we were sitting here, the Republic of South Sudan has done the needful. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I think the meeting that we had yesterday, Honorable Speaker, is now bearing a lot of fruits, and in very, very due course, Honorable Speaker, because we are all here this week, all is going to be well. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to respond to Honorable Makame, who told us about the report, the letter from the URT. I think it is, and it should be, only procedural, that if there's a letter from a council member to the council chair, that matter can only be reported by the council chair. But I think this has elicited a lot of excitement, and therefore it is excusable when that happens. But he also said that I insinuated that there is need for goodwill. I did not insinuate, Honorable Speaker. I was very express. I said categorically that we need the goodwill. And that goodwill, we are going to create it, and we are going to deal with it, and we are going to ensure that the Secretariat is happy, the Assembly is happy, the East African Court of Justice is happy, and the community is happy, and the citizens of East Africa are happy. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, allow me to ask that we move ahead, deal expeditiously with this matter of the budget, so that then the members then can just wait and see what is happening in their accounts. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Committee on General Purpose.
Clarification, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chair, please.
Clarification, Mr. Speaker.
You can speak from there. Honorable Musamari, let me give you a minute because you can insist a lot even. You switch off your microphone briefly, Honorable Namara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is not that I insist a lot, but I think it is the nature of business of the Parliament. The clarification issue which I'm seeking here, I will just start with a simple one. The Honorable Chair Council, when you are referring to the statement by the Honorable Makame that he insinuated, I just want to put it probably clear that my friend, the Honorable Makame, speaks very good English. He is very fluent in Kiswahili, and he speaks very good English in the morning. But when it comes to afternoon, and when he's hungry, sometimes it gets problems. So maybe that's where the problem came from, but he meant well. The other matter which I need the Chair Council to clarify, he said he noted it very well that when he met the General Purpose Committee, where I am a member, and he said that I put it clearly that their welfare issues will be sorted. Honorable Speaker and the Chair Council, when you talk of issues of welfare, welfare is broad. It may talk about medical, it may talk about wedding.
Honorable Musamari.
So, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable
please.
Musamari.
So, I want
you know, when the speaker is speaking, you don't compete for the microphone. Because you have been in parliament long enough to know. So, Honorable Musamari, because you are a member of the committee, what specific welfare issue was being discussed there? Because I think it was specific, it wasn't open-ended. Was it about a wedding? Was it about a
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The welfare issue, that's why I wanted it to be clarified here. The welfare issue which we are talking about was members' areas of DSA. Now, when the Chair Council comes here and he says, and he still on record of this house, he says, no, the issue of welfare will be sorted. I want the Chair Council to be categorical.
Honestly, is there anybody who didn't understand the issue? Is there an ambiguity about it? No. Then here we don't need to. These are the kind of questions people in the press can ask, but not a member of the committee who was there when the discussion was going on. Yes. So, Honorable Chair, Committee, continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, I thank also the council, the Chair Council, and the other council member from the Republic of Burundi for having commented and committed themselves in as far as addressing the welfare of the members is concerned. Because as you know, the Committee of General Purpose is also mandated with ensuring that the welfare of the members is catered for. And I have no doubt from the discussions we have had, myself, with the Secretary General, the Speaker, the Chair Council, and even engagements with the chairpersons of the chapters from different chapters, I have no doubt that the outstanding obligations owed to members, as Chair Council has said, that wait this week and you'll see things happening. So we are very optimistic. But there is a question from Honorable Susan Nakauki, that Honorable, which, and I thank her, she was asking why we cannot amend, and the Chair Council didn't answer it, why we cannot amend, since now there is no objection from any of the partner states regarding, because this money of the vote on account, the only way it can be appropriated is in the supplementary, because it was not budgeted for during this current financial year. So our request would be, I would accept if the council chair, of course, gave guidance and said it is okay, it would be prudent to have this amendment. So this supplementary budget number 2 is passed with a total outstanding of $1 million as is stated here. That will be for the council chair to guide that Honorable Speaker. That Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Makame, the Honorable Musamari, the Honorable Mary Mujenyi, and also accept the amendment of Honorable Mary Mujenyi, of saying that now this issue has been overtaken by events, because already the chair council has clarified that all these issues have been handled from the Republic of South Sudan, from URT, and from the Republic of Burundi. I take that amendment, Honorable Mary Mugenyi.
Thank you. Given what you have said, thank you. Thank you. I think it will require that the front bench responds to that. But let me give you just a fraction of a minute to Dr. Makame, who indicated to me something is itching. I don't know what it is about.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's for the purpose of setting the record straight in the House, because the usage of the word perhaps was not proper. So I wish to withdraw it and replace it with the word advice. I withdraw the word insinuated and I replace it with the word advice. Mr. Council, please accept that amendment. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you for the clarification, although I'm sure the council chair had understood the context. So, council chair, the proposal by the committee chair that you pronounce yourself on the proposed amendment.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to say from the very onset, Honorable Speaker, that I'm happy that we are moving in the same direction together, and we are definitely destined to get to where we want to get to together. I almost asked Honorable Speaker to respond to what you already responded to when Honorable Musumari was asking about the nature of the welfare. He insinuated that it was so broad that he needed the specifics. But he was right, Honorable Speaker. Issues of welfare, whether it is medicine, whether it is weddings, whether it is education, they are so broad. But they are so broad that only one welfare issue would deal with all the broad issues that he was raising. And we know what it is. It's just one item that would then be able to deal with all the broad issues. Because whether it is weddings, you need money. If it is medicine, you need money. Whatever it is, you need money, unless it is spiritual. So, Honorable Speaker, I agree with you that everybody was there and we were all in agreement on how this matter would be handled. And because we agreed not just from getting the concurrence of the partner states who had earlier on had some reservations. We had also agreed that upon receiving their concurrence with Honorable Speaker, then there is a way we are going to be able to deal with the end result. And so all the members who are present at the meeting of the General Purpose Committee would agree with me that we did not just discuss the letters or the concurrence from the partner states, but we also discussed and agreed on the modalities on how to deal with this matter. And that amending the supplementary budget, Honorable Speaker, was not part of the way or the ways of dealing with this matter. And Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm to you here that when the council takes a decision and it is about money or it touches on anything financial, we know where that finance is. And so when we take this decision, Honorable Speaker, as we said, and remember, this is work that is already done. This is not budget for the next financial year. This is work already done. We know where the money is. So I think there is no need, Honorable Speaker, to go into amending this supplementary budget, because I pointed out to them, and you remember in that meeting, Honorable Speaker, I walked into that meeting with the Director of Finance and asked him in the presence of the honorable members of that committee that should we take this decision and tell you where this money comes from, will it be dealt with? He said yes. So I think there is no need for us to imagine that we can take a decision and will not be able to back it with the resources. So mine is just to assure the House, Honorable Speaker, that once this decision is taken, then the obvious will follow seamlessly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
All right, thank you very much, honorable members. I now put the question that this House do resolve itself to the Committee of Ways and Means to consider and approve the financial statements for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021, and the Committee of Supply to consider and approve the estimates of expenditure for the supplementary budget for financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. Those in favor have it. Maybe before we proceed, honorable members, I think the good responses that we got from the honorable council members is a product of engagement. Yes. It's a product of goodwill and constructive engagement. So whatever is remaining on the way, if we continue the path of goodwill, which I don't doubt is there, and the constructive engagement, then there cannot be a problem that we are not able to resolve. Yes. Thank you. So thank you very much.
Committee of Ways and Means and the Committee on Supply.
Okay, Honorable Chair, Council of Ministers.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that in accordance with the provisions of Article 1325 of the treaty and Rule 76 of the Rules of Procedure, the Committee of Ways and Means do consider and approve the financial statements.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the financial statements for the supplementary budget for financial year 2020-2021 be approved. I now put the question that the financial statements for the supplementary budget for financial year 2020-2021 be approved. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 001 EAC Secretariat.
Honorable members, now propose the question that a total sum of United States dollars 241,450 under vote 001 be provided for the expenses of the East African Community Secretariat for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that a total sum of United States dollars 241,450 under vote 001 be provided for the expenses of the East African Community Secretariat for the financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 003, the East African Legislative Assembly.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that a total sum of United States dollars 252,980 under vote 003 be provided for the expenses of the East African Legislative Assembly for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that a total sum of United States dollars 252,980 under vote 002.
Procedure.
Excuse me. I think there is a mistake in my.
Procedure, right, Honorable.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we're dealing with two supplementaries. And now when we are considering this bill, we are considering the supplementary appropriation bill. But when I look at it, I do not see vote 003.
That is a mistake. I'm correcting. I'm about to correct it.
It's being corrected.
Information on the Speaker.
Is it being corrected?
Information.
On the appropriation bill.
On the Speaker. Information.
Let the Honorable Rose finish first.
I want to inform.
You want to provide information?
Is
that the Honorable King?
Yes.
Yes, please proceed.
I want to inform my Honorable Rose that the vote 01 is for Secretariat and the vote 02 is for the Court of Justice and 3. So the Court of Justice does not have any amount of information. Thank you very much, Speaker.
So is it clarified?
Right now, Speaker, I'm talking about
you know, one thing, honorable members, one thing I don't feel comfortable with dealing with these numbers.
I'm talking, right now, Speaker, I'm talking about the supplementary for the one we just considered for Parliament, which is vote 003, if I'm not mistaken. So, in the compilation of this supplementary appropriation bill, that is the report, but I'm talking about the bill before Parliament, which is this supplementary appropriation bill. The vote 003 is omitted. So, since we are considering the appropriation bill and there is an omission, it is the procedure that I want to bring.
Honorable, can you help explain that? Because where we are heading, we completely lost.
Sure.
Members of the committee, please clarify that and we proceed.
Members.
Honorable Francois.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. We have this vote 003 on a separate bill, and this is on white paper, not blue paper. What? It's a separate bill on white paper.
Yeah.
Because we received the supplementary request in two separate, you know, I may say steps. The first one, and this was supposed to be two because it was added after. Unless they did it and they did the magic. Thank you.
So, Honorable,
Honorable Chair, the confusion arises out of the two bills. It is true the way Honorable Rose has raised. The first bill does not have 003. 003 comes in the appropriation bill number 2. So can we deal with the two bills as an entity separately? So that is we approve one and then we go to the second one.
And I think that is what we are doing. Yes.
So it depends on which bill are we dealing with. Are we dealing with supplementary appropriation bill or are we dealing with appropriation bill number 2? So can we be able to deal with it as an entity?
Give me a moment for me to understand this. But I mean, the committee, you should be able to help. Huh? Yes, you should be able to help.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First of all, we are considering two supplementary appropriation bills, number 1 and number 2. So the two of them cannot be combined. in one bill. So we would have first handle bill number 1 and then also handle bill number 2. Because that's why when we got 2 different reports for the 2 of them. And that's why they are not combined.
Ignore the comment in my notes because I already indicated that there was a mistake in my notes. You see the point? I indicated that. That when I was reading, proposing the question and putting the question, somewhere there was a mistake. So that one shouldn't bother you because I'm about to correct it. But in terms of how we are dealing with the 2 bills, is it clear now?
Honorable Speaker.
Huh?
Honorable Speaker, what is confusing the matter is this other paper which reads financial statement for supplementary budget for the financial year 2021, 2020-2021. This one is the one which is confusing. It's not a bill. I don't know. This is what,
is it the one we are handling now?
Yes, it's the one that you are reading. That's where you are reading from. This is the one which is confusing the whole matter because this is not a bill. I don't know how it is found.
The copy I have, it is a bill.
This one is not a bill.
Yes.
The bill we have is only bill number 1 and number 2.
Okay, consider that as a bill. It is.
This one.
What document did you distribute? The clerk.
Honorable Speaker.
There are two white ones.
Honorable Speaker, the error.
No, let me confess, honorable members, that I'm losing control of the debate. Yes. Let me tell you, I'm losing control of the debate, and as a result, I'm going to suspend briefly, interacting amongst yourselves. We are not going back to the debate. Issues that were raised and were clarified by the committee chair and the council chair, we are not going back there. But it is now how we are going to perform these protocols of concluding this exercise. So can I suspend for a few minutes, and members, do your own kamukunji here and harmonize the situation so that we are not held down by procedural issues. Otherwise, I don't see how I can get out of it. So I suspend for a few minutes for that consultation to happen.
Honorable members. Honorable members.
Can I move the motion? Until he's.
Okay, thank you very much, honorable members, and welcome back. The briefing I have is that we have found a way forward, and that would include that for now, we skip vote 003, we'll come back to it later. So let us proceed like that.
Motion?
Yes?
Yeah.
Honorable Mukulia.
Yes, I stand under Rule 30D for a motion
Procedure.
to suspend any of these rules, and I want to suspend Rule 11.
Procedure.
That has to do with the time,
Procedure.
so that we can dispose of this matter beforehand.
Yes.
That the House extend its
Thank you. I have heard you. Let me hear from Honorable Wanjiku also.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We ordinarily at the Parliament.
So are we properly constituted in terms of time? I think we are, because we started business, we suspended briefly, and we are back. So in terms of time, we are supposed to finish at what time?
One.
Well, I think.
No, can I provide?
Honorable members, we proceed. Let us proceed. Okay, so we are skipping vote 003 for now. That is what we have agreed during our informal consultation.
Vote 004, Lake Victoria Basin Commission.
Members, I now propose the question that a total sum of United States dollars 679,512 and a vote 004 be provided for the expenses of the Lake Victoria Basin Commission for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that the total sum of United States dollars 679,512 and a vote 004 be provided for the expenses of the Lake Victoria Basin Commission for the financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 006, Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization.
I now propose the question that a total sum of USD 926,192 and a vote 006 be provided for the expenses of the Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that a total sum of USD 926,192 and a vote 006 be provided for the expenses of the Lake Victoria Fisheries Organization for the financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 007, the East African Science and Technology Commission.
I now propose the question that a total sum of USD 29,850 and a vote 007 be provided for the East African Science and Technology Commission, EASTICO, for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that a total sum of USD 29,850 and a vote 007 be provided for the East African Science and Technology Commission, EASTICO, for the financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 009, East African Health Research Commission.
I propose the question that a total sum of USD 112,915 under vote 009 be provided for the expenses of the East African Health Research Commission for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that a total sum of USD 112,915 under vote 009 be provided for the expenses of the East African Health Research Commission for the financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Committee of Ways and Means and the Committee of Supply for the Supplementary Budget Bill number 2. Vote 003, the East African Legislative Assembly.
I now propose the question that a total sum of USD 252,980 under vote 003 be provided for the expenses of the West African Legislative Assembly for the financial year 2020-2021. I now put the question that a total sum of USD 252,980 under vote 003 be provided for the expenses of the East African Legislative Assembly for the financial year 2020-2021. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of Supply and the Committee of Ways and Means report thereto.
Honorable Mukuria, you know when there is no motion, the speaker is blind. Now you can move your motion. There was no motion raising issues of time.
It was the same that I was going to move. So I can proceed? Thank you so much. I move under Rule 30D of the Rules of Procedure to suspend any rule of our Rules of Procedure. And therefore, I would like to suspend Rule 11 that talks about time to extend the time for our sitting until the matter under our deliberation is completed. I beg to move.
Seconder, Honorable Thomas, Honorable Kalinda, and all members standing. Those in favor of the suspension of the rule on time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of Ways and Means and report of the Committee on Supply.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of Ways and Means has considered and approved the financial statement, and the Committee of Supply has considered and approved the revised estimates of expenditure for the financial year 2020-2021, totaling to USD 2,242,899 for the specified organs and institutions of the community. Motion for adoption of report of the Committee of Ways and Means and the Committee of Supply.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee of Ways and Means and the Committee of Supply be adopted.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the report of the Committee of Ways and Means and the Committee of Supply be adopted. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Item number 4 of the order paper, the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021, bill second reading.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read for the second time.
Seconders. Honorable CTC, Honorable Ambassador Fatuma Banjiza, Honorable Fatuma Ibrahim, Honorable Thomas Duty, Honorable Remoyan. Chairperson, Council of Ministers, proceed with the justification. If there is none, I put a question.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to justify that the object of the bill is to appropriate a supplementary sum of USD 1,989,919 out of the budget of the community to meet additional expenditure for the organs and institutions of the community for the financial year ending 30th June 2021.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read the second time. I want to remind the members that the report has already been presented. The debate is now open.
Clarification.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, here two members talking to clarify. Honorable Wanjiku.
Honorable Speaker, not really a clarification, but I link information. There could be have been a typo from the clerk's office. It is the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 1, because the other one is number 2, and we are dealing with them separately.
Yes, I think the clarification you have put is very clear. You can't have number 2 without having number 1. So I note that the bill you have does not have number 1, and that clerical mistake must be corrected.
But we can amend it at third reading when we shall be putting the title. Then
Yes.
at the title you can put
Exactly.
number 1.
So the clerk concedes in his advice that the point you are raising is correct. So you will help me how to correct it during the procedure. I will wait to hear from you, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, the clarification which I have also clarified.
There was another member wanted, yes, Honorable Cole.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The only point I have, I'm seeking clarification for is in the justification by Honorable Chair Council. You read the amount of supplementary appropriation we've passed in the Committee of the Whole House as 1,900,000, while here it was 2,242,000 and some other numbers. So I just wanted to know which is what we are going to approve. Is it a combined number or what?
Yeah.
Information, Honorable Francois, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The information I wanted to bring to the House is that if they take the single paper, it's written the financial statement for the supplementary budget for the financial year 2020-2021, it's to bring a clarification on a combined figure with this bill number 1 and number 2. And this makes 2,242,899 USD.
Thank you.
So I think you take the information. Honorable Claude.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, and I think maybe Honorable Council Chair maybe can also change that what he said in the justification, because he read 1,900,000.
Further information.
Or
Further information
Further
from Honorable
information.
Wanjiku.
Thank you. The Chair Council read 1,989,919 as per supplementary one, because we are dealing with two supplementaries. If you followed, we had two reports, so we are dealing with them separately.
So I think it is clear now. We can proceed. Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Noor.
Speaker, I'm a little bit at loss. I need your guidance because I thought we have dealt with these bills until the committees of Ways and Means. And now we are going back again to the second reading of the same bills. Really, what were we doing in the first place? I thought we have concluded this bill, both of them, 1 and 2, although the issue that was raised by Honorable Wanjiku requires some movement of amendment of the title of the bill has been indicated. But even the order paper, I think we are at 4 now. What were we doing before we come to order paper number 4, which was just being under discussion now? What was the original issue that we have been handling? Because I can see the petition on this order paper number 4 is talking about supplementary bill, appropriation bill, second reading. And then number 6 is talking about third reading. And then committees of Ways and Means have just discussed and passed. So I need some clarification on at what stage are we now? Because it's a bill at the second reading or at the third reading, which we have already gone to committees. How do you go to committees without going to the second reading of the bill?
This is the time when I am really aspiring for information. Who is the member that is willing to provide information? Honorable Wanjiku, please.
I can.
Honorable Noor, your microphone.
I can give information, but I thought Honorable Noor is a senior member than me. That we were in committee of Ways and Means, which we could have skipped previously because we were working virtually, and as a result, many members could have thought that was correct practice, even though Speaker corrected it at the end by concluding that the bill be passed as amended. So correctly, what we are doing now is second reading, then we shall go to third reading, and at that reading is where we shall even carry the title. So we are in second reading.
So you're good to go. Thank you. So, Honorable Chair of the committee, do you have a reply to make? Nothing. Thank you. Honorable Chair, Council of Ministers, any comment? Thank you. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read a second time. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The East African Community Supplemental Appropriation Bill 2021. Committee stage. Adoption of bill clause by clause. Clause 1,
I propose that the question that clause 1 will be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Members, please vote. Yes. Yes.
Schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the schedule be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. I put the question that the title, yes, Honorable Wanjiku, please.
I have the amendment that the title of the bill to read Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021-1. Bill number 1. The clerk can read.
Honorable Wanjiku, I'm getting the information that the Assembly passed the supplementary bill in January 2021, and later there was a supplementary bill. The bills before the Assembly will be supplementary bills number 3 and number 4. Is that correct? But if it is 2 and 3, where is 1? The one was passed in January. The one was passed in January, and we have 2 today. Yes. So is it clear now?
So this will be number 2. So there's another one in the same financial year. I think then this should be 2 and 3. If the first one is only 1.
Honorable Wanjiku, your amendment should be number 2 then. If we pass the number 1 in January, then you should have number 2.
Honorable Chair, we have number 2, so this can be number 3. The number 2 can remain number 2, and then this can be number 3.
Which one are we handling first?
This can be number 3.
Honorable Mary.
Right, Honorable Chair, we are following the report. We have a report from the committee, and it is reading supplementary bill number 1. And then we have number 2. So which one is which? This has to be put together to make sense out of the legislation we are doing, Mr. Speaker.
More clarification.
Can the committee help us? And CTC be prepared to help us also. Huh? Who made the rule that the clerk cannot be asked to explain some situations? Huh? So the speakers end up struggling with the information. No,
information.
You know, the moment I realize that I have 4, 5, 6 people on the floor, I get a bit of doubt. So, Honorable Chair of the committee, can you help us out if you are in a position to do that? Okay, Honorable Francoise, then Honorable Kennedy.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The clarification I would like to bring is that the bills are already numbered. If we have figures on the right side, I can read number 2, and there is number 3 here. Maybe we can refer to them to take a decision up there. And also, as far as the name is concerned, we have supplementary appropriation number 2 here for the other bill. So the number should follow immediately appropriation, not come after the bill to remain constant. And also the request of the council.
Yes, let's see here the point of order first. They will be back on the floor. Switch off the microphone briefly.
Honorable Speaker, I think you are mixing too many things. The number 2 is the appropriation bill of 2021-2022. It has nothing to do with the supplementary budget. You can look at it, it is for budget for 2021-2022. So please don't confuse us and mix things. Chair and Honorable Speaker, I think you don't need make reference to January bills we have passed. We shall concentrate on the bills we have right now, which is number 3 and number 4.
So are we okay?
Yes, I think we are confusing ourselves.
Yes. So can we proceed? Thank you very much, Honorable Fatuma, for clarifying this.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Anjiku.
This is the appropriation for the budget.
I think for record, I need to withdraw my amendment and say that the title remain as per the bill. Maybe this amendment could have come much earlier in the report.
Thank you very much. So the record is duly corrected. So now I proceed to put the question that I had already proposed the question that the title be part of the bill. I now put the question that the title be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that the House do resume and the Committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the whole House.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 and passed it without amendments. Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the whole House.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted.
Honorable members, I put the question that the report of the Committee of the whole House be adopted. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Item number 6 on the order paper, the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021, third reading.
Honorable Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read the third time and do pass.
Seconders. Honorable Francois, Honorable Ambassador Fatuma, Honorable Jankulode, Honorable Dr. Woda, Honorable Fatuma Ibrahim, Honorable Dr. Uburu Ogin. Honorable members, I now propose the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read for the third time and do pass. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 220, no, let me repeat. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation, in brackets number 2, Bill 2020.
Right, Honorable. Okay, one.
Okay, I'm advised. Thank you. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2020 be read for the third time. I'm reading the notes. Thank you very much. I like the vigilance because it is helping me. Thank you so much. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 be read for the third time and do pass. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
An act of the community to appropriate a supplemental sum of United States dollars 1,989,919 out of the budget of the community to meet additional expenditure for the organs and institutions of the community for the financial year ending 30th June 2021.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation number 2 Bill 2021 be read for the second time.
Sorry for the omission. I have to, before I invite the council to move this motion, I wanted to declare that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2021 has been duly passed. Now, Honorable Council Chair, you can move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation number 2 Bill 2021 be read for the second time.
Seconders, Honorable Adam Kimbisa, Honorable Mama Mokarerwa, Honorable Fancy Nkuhi, Honorable Oda Gasinzigwa, and all members standing. Thank you. Honorable Council Chair, you want to justify?
Honorable Speaker, I wish to justify that the object of this bill is to appropriate a supplementary sum of USD 252,980 out of the budget of the community to meet additional expenditure for the East African Legislative Assembly for the financial year ending 30th June 2021.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2, 2021 be read the second time. And at this stage, I want to remind you, honorable members, that the report has been already presented and debate is now open. Honorable Noor.
Honorable Speaker, I want the Chair Council to clarify in detail as to how do we end up in having two bills, supplementary bill at the same time? Because I thought it's at the same time that we're debating two bills of supplementary of different institutions, and what really separates Eala or out of the other institutions of the community, that we end up in two bills. I think that needs to be explained a little bit because it's not clear to us.
Is there another member who wants to contribute to this? Okay, Honorable Francois.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm kind of bringing a clarification here because after two reports were read by the chair of GP committee, I thought no member wanted to debate at first. And then some members contributed. And I thought it was done for two reports at the same time. I submit.
I stand advised, but because I had embarked into this, let me invite the council chair to make any clarification you may have. If there is none, we proceed. Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question that East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill number 2, 2021 be read a second time.
The East African Community Supplemental Appropriation Bill, Appropriation number 2B, 2021, bill at committee stage. Bill at committees, adoption of bill clause by clause. Start with clause 1.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 2. I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the schedule be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. I put the question that the title be part of the bill. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for the House to resume. Mr. Chair, I beg to move that the House do resume and committee of the whole House reports thereto.
Honorable members, I put the question, the House do resume and the committee of the whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Order, honorable members. Order.
Report of the committee of the whole House.
Chairperson, Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to report that the committee of the whole House has considered the bill entitled the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2021 and passed it without amendments.
Motion for the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, I understand we are tired, but we are just to try hard. So even me with all these movements here, I know what it is. But we are about to finish. Okay, Chairperson, the Council of Ministers.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted. I now put the question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Item number 9 on the order paper, the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2021, third reading.
Chairperson, the Council of Ministers.
The Right Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2021 be read the third time and do pass.
Seconder. Honorable Marie-Claire William Honorable Oda, Honorable Fancy, Honorable Rutazana, Honorable Rose, Honorable Kennedy Karunzo, Honorable Ambassador Fatuma, and all the members standing. Thank you. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill Number 2 Honorable members, I propose the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill Number 2, 2021 be ready for the third time and do pass. I now put the question that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill Number 2, 2021 be ready for the third time and do pass. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
An act of the community to appropriate a supplemental sum of United States dollars 252,980 out of the budget of the community to meet additional expenditure for the East African State Assembly for the financial year ending 30th June 2021.
Honorable members, I want to declare that the East African Community Supplementary Appropriation Bill Number 2, 2021 has been duly passed by the Assembly. Honorable members, I thank you very much. I know it's been a long day. It's been a long day, but it is worth the time. I really appreciate your resilience and the work that we have done together here. So at this stage, and given what the committee chair, General Purpose, had indicated to us in the morning, we will not proceed with the rest of items on the order paper to give time for the committee to conclude their report. So I adjourn the House until tomorrow at 10. House adjourned.